Well, new today, a big loss for a western North Carolina community as a plant in Haywood County prepares to close.
The mayor of Canton says the Pactive Evergreen packaging facility will shut down and end operations by the end of June. Now, we're told this is an effort to restructure, but it could leave 1,300 people without a job. The company says they will provide outplacement assistance and severance packages. In a statement, the company said in part that they will assess all changes to the business with considerable thought for our employees, customers, shareholders, and communities, and do not take these decisions lightly. The company recognizes the impact this will have on our colleagues and is committed to supporting impacted employees throughout this transition.
The closing of the paper mill in Canton also hits close to home in the upstate. A sawmill company in Landrum is the lead supplier. They're worried about what this means for their future. Capps Brothers Woodyard makes more than 200 trips to Canton a week, delivering wood chips to be made into paper products. We talked to the owner of Capps Brothers, who says he's worried about the ripple effect the mill closing will have on them, not only to the people of Canton, but also the local loggers they buy lumber from.
It's going to affect a tremendous amount of people. A tremendous amount of people, more than people realize.
Capps Brothers has been in business since the 1960s, doing business with the Canton mill throughout several generations of their own family. They say they hope someone steps in to purchase that mill before it closes.